Oh wait,
Well,
you're doing
no.
the Mirage Arena now?
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm doing.
That's worse than a cutscene.
Oh, come...
Oh.
Dude.
He stays in his armor?
Yeah, you can customize the color because this is the multiplayer area for
That's-
the PSP.
Yeah, that's not multiplayer in this version.
Which is a huge letdown when they said they were remaking it. But I mean, it was obviously not going to
So
be multiplayer.
what is it now?
Okay.
It's the same thing, except you can't play with anybody.
I see.
Yeah.
So isn't that
And you fight a bunch of unversed.
boring?
Yeah, a little bit. But we're doing
This
it
pretty
here
much
for a
takes
reason.
place of the Olympus Coliseum, pretty much.
Ah, okay.
This is also where you get the Ultima weapon.
Oh,
And the Royal Radiance, which is better than the Ultima weapon.
but can those weapons carry over to the other characters, or no? You only get
No,
them.
no.
No, you unlock them for the character.
Yeah, the other characters would have to do this all over again. Anyway, to get to rank 30, which is how you unlock the No Heart, you gotta get rank 30, and by doing that, you gotta complete 7 command boards.
Which is horrible.
Terror bad.
Haha!
Wait,
I see what you did there.
you gotta win 7 command boards. Rumble, racing. What I do is I put the players to 2, and then it has to be 5 laps, and then you click OK. You don't have to win the race. You just gotta get each one in less than 5 minutes.
That's worse than winning. Well, actually, they're pretty easy, but that's worse than winning, I would think, in a typical racing standard.
Except for Castle Circuit. That one you have to get in less than 5 minutes and 30 seconds. So you don't actually have to win. And in order to unlock Castle Circuit and Grand Spree for the Mirage Arena, you first gotta complete them in Disney Town. Okay, but enough of that shit.
So before they can actually count, you need to actually...
Yes.
horrible.
All right, let's get to which one should we do first?
The hardest one.
Day of Reckoning.
Right, because that's the hardest.
So what would happen in the PSP version? You fight off against other players only?
You can do PvP or PvE. You could be doing this with... Technically, if 3 of us had PSPs with Birth by Sleep, we could all be fighting these unversed together right now.
As
That-
Ventus, Aqua, and Terra.
That would be so cool.
Yeah,
But
it
we
was.
don't have that luxury, unfortunately.
Or we could 1v1 each other.
But they're all in their armors when
Yeah.
they're here.
Huh?
Why are they in their armors? Because they're in space?
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just
I don't-
it's more of a character customization thing. You can change the color of the armor to make it look more like your character.
Ah.
Yeah, it's still them though, obviously.
You can tell by the body type.
Yeah.
And the way they hold their keyblades.
Yep.
So while we're here,
While we're here.
I mean, we were talking about this earlier off camera, AJ, but like, what is your favorite Kingdom Hearts game?
Oh, I thought you were asking me about the playstyle. It's not my favorite.
Well, both.
Oh, I don't really have a favorite. I like all of them.
That's such a bullshit answer.
No, not really. I like all of them. There's no... Because I can't compare, like, one to Birth by Sleep, and I can't compare Birth by Sleep to Chain of Memories.
Well, I mean,
Like,
I can really answer that question kind of easily.
You haven't played all of them. Have you?
Well, I've played a lot of them.
That's fair.
Kingdom Hearts 1 is my favorite for the story, but Kingdom Hearts 2 is my favorite for the gameplay.
Okay.
Same here.
Yeah, I guess that's reasonable.
Because when they made Kingdom Hearts 1, it was pretty concise.
It was simple and clean.
Exactly, it was simple and clean.
On a punch, y'all.
And it's the way that it makes me feel tonight. And it's hard to let it go, you know?
Can you stop?
No, but in all seriousness, Kingdom Hearts 1 was my favorite for the story. It was simple and clean, it was concise. The story mostly made sense. You know, there wasn't all this hubbubaloo and like, oh, and when the Heartless is made, nobody's made. But before all the Heartless stuff happened, there was the Unversed.
That's a little...
But like, no one really kind of paid any mind to it because the Heartless are obviously worse than the Unversed.
So what you're saying is you like simple and clean stories.
I prefer them to be simple.
So you don't like Kingdom Hearts.
I do like
It's okay.
Kingdom Hearts.
You could leave.
I mean, I like Dark Souls, even though it's a really complicated
I
story.
mean, there's no narrative. I mean, well,
There
is.
is.
There is.
No,
No,
technically
there's
there is
not.
no narrative. It's just, well, aside from the opening cutscene,
it's like you're cursed. Go do things. And you're
Yeah,
like, okay.
exactly.
And the guy's like, go ring the bells, and you're like, okay.
yeah, sure.
You kind of make your own story in that game.
I mean, yes yes and no, because there is a story, but you make your own
narrative.
Your own narrative. And in AJ's case, his narrative is, let me go get the really cool items first and go into this area and make everyone really confused and then do the regular story. And everyone's like, wait.
Essentially.
What? Like, can you imagine, like, the enemies is like, okay, so once he's about level 30, he's gonna come through here and, oh, he's here. He's level 1. What's he doing here at level 1?
And then they don't see me ever again because I completely skipped that area.
Yeah.
Like, they'll be like, wait, what?
So, and now so what's your favorite game then gameplay-wise?
Chain of Memories.
No, I said already Kingdom Hearts 2.
Chain of Memories.
Mostly though because they introduced the reaction command, and seeing those cutscenes like mid-battle was always really cool.
Somebody just liked mashing triangle. It's okay, Jason. You could.
Well,
admit it.
actually, I had an idea how they could change reaction commands to be a little bit more interesting in like a future title, and that's you see the reaction command come up, right? You click it, and then the cutscene plays through. But instead of just playing through and doing damage, like time slows down and then you have one of 3 or 4 options based on your controller. So let's say for example the PS4 you have the triangle, square, circle, X, right?
Yeah.
And for each you know, button is like relative to a direction that your character can go or that you character can dodge depending on what the scenario is, right? And let's say for example, depending on which boss fight it is, the correct answer will always be a little different. Like for example, if you see a boss coming at you from above, you could hit triangle and try to attack them, but maybe like, you know, the attack is coming down so hard that you try to deflect it and instead you get hurt. But, you know, on the other hand, you could press X to stand your ground, and when they hit you, you take the force of the hit, but you take no damage, right? Alternatively, you hit square or circle, and your character rolls to the side and counterattacks them as they hit the ground.
That's cool, but I feel like it would be too much of an interactive storytelling thing then.
Well, it wouldn't happen for every boss fight.
Yeah.
And it would only happen for boss fights, and this could be Kingdom Hearts or this could be any game, obviously.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting to see, like, you know, you need to hit the reaction command correctly to get the option. And then once you have the options, you know, 3 of them or maybe even 2 of them are correct answer, but one of them is you kind of fuck up.
Yeah.
And I think a good, like, picturesque scenario, and, Andrew, what's the guy with the giant sword's name who his power level keeps increasing?
Saix?
Saix, right? Imagine Saix powers up level 9,000, he jumps up in the air, he comes at you, you see reaction command, you hit it, and you could hit triangle and try to jump up towards him, as indicated by like the directions.
Yeah.
But if you do that, instead he smacks you and you go down. Whereas if you hit square or circle, like I kind of suggested earlier, you'll roll out of the way and Sora will counterattack him when he hits the ground.
Yeah.
That way you get some damage in. It kind of forces the player to think on their feet a little bit and be a little bit more observant of what's going on instead of like, oh, button comes up, click! And obviously with each scenario, time will slow down or something very cinematic will happen where, you know, it gives you the chance to kind of look what's in what direction, you know?
Yeah.
In fact, a funny idea would be is if in that scenario, let's say maybe Donald or Goofy is on your right. So if you hit a circle, you'll actually bump into them and you'll both take damage as Saix comes down. You know, it's just a suggestion, you know?
Yeah.
What do you think, Andrew? This kind
With
of...
the reaction command?
With the multiple choice reaction command.
It would require like quick thinking. I'm not that quick of a thinker, unfortunately.
Well, I mean,
a person like me maybe.
Well, it would obviously require more time. It would give you.
But I guess with time and practice, I probably.
Yeah, but it's not like the reaction commands you have now, where it's like you only have like 2 or 3 seconds to react. It would obviously give you maybe a 5 or 6 second window because you know it's giving you more choices. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
But my original question though, like, I wanted to actually comment on him liking Chain of Memories. I think part of the reason why so many people are frustrated with Chain of Memories is because they're so used to Kingdom Hearts from Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 it being like a button mashing fest.
Yeah.
That to go straight from button mashing to oh, you have to actually pay attention to what cards you're using and like the attack values and everything and math. I think that's why people like are really turned off by it in the beginning. And I think compared to the original Kingdom Hearts battle system, yes, it's pretty garbagey, but on its own, it's not that bad. And the most fun I get from the game, I've explained it in our playthrough of it, is that
cheesing the fuck out of it.
yeah, I enjoy breaking it. That's where I get the most fun from it, because, you know, with like abusing bosses with lethal frame, abusing mobs with tornado and mega flare,
Yeah.
like it is fun.
I loved it for the fact that, like, it was more strategic in that sense where you had to play your cards right, quite literally. And every time you leveled up, it had more of an RPG feel. You could choose to level up your health, your card power, or get a skill. And I thought that was cool because it was more like
most of
your
the time,
guy.
most of the time it was just HP or card.
Well, yeah. Well, the skills were cool too because, like, I think the first one was sliding dash, and sliding dash was fun. And I'm probably like the only one out of everybody that I know, and probably a lot of other people, to actually like Chain of Memories. But it's really satisfying, especially when you're like fighting a boss like Larxene or something, and she like does an attack that's like an 8, and you have a 9 or 0, and you just cancel out her attack and like whop her in the face. It's like really fun, and I don't know. I might actually play it tonight on my Game Boy player, on my GameCube. I might hook it up to my TV and play it.
Wait, your
like
GameCube?
It's the Game Boy, not the remastered, the original. I still have the original on the Game Boy. It's fun. I play that tonight.
Uh-oh.
But it's not my favorite Kingdom Hearts, but it is really fun.
Chain of Memories kind of forced you to keep track of more things on the screen. You had to keep track of source position. You had to keep track of card numbers. You had to keep track of your cards, your deck. So it forced you to look more at the bottom of the screen away from the action, because, you know, looking at the action and then just, you know, matching the buttons really quick, or just having everything mapped, is a lot easier because you just focus on where you are and when you're going to hit, as opposed to focusing, you know, where you are, what you're going to hit with, can you hit them with it, and what they're hitting you with.
Well, that's the best part. It's like you can customize your deck. So you made it.
Unless
you
you're
know.
Riku.
I mean, yeah, you made it. You know what's next. Like if you used your deck enough, you know. All right, if I take these next 3 cards, I could do Stun Impact. Or if I attack 3 times, attack once, and then use the next 3 cards, I get this ability. Or like, okay, I have a 0 at the end of my deck, and I have a Hades card. I can combine that and do whatever. It's like, it's all strategy. It's like,
you keep saying strategy. It's
Yeah,
not that
it's like-
strategic.
it's not that-
if you know how to break it, like the
yeah,
way we did.
If you know how to break it, you can just be like Mega Flare, Mega Flare, Mega Flare, Mega Flare, and just destroy everything. But like, I like challenging things. As we keep bringing up Dark Souls, it's not actually that challenging, but it's
Okay, I
more of
will
like,
say this. If you're a new player to Dark Souls, it probably is challenging.
Thanks for the disclaimer, Jason.
Well, I mean, remember when I played the game? I
Yeah,
died a lot. I
that's
didn't know
fair.
where to go. I didn't understand some of the bosses.
Yeah, but
Well,
it's more
you know
of
what?
like a
The biggest problem I had with it was I didn't know where to go. Because,
Yeah, I
like,
had that too.
There's no map.
Yeah, no,
You just
definitely.
go, you know?
yeah. And there's something else I think I was gonna say about Chain of Memories, but I forgot. Oh, the villain cards were cool though. Like how when you defeated a boss, or like the Heartless cards, how you could like use them and get like a special ability. Those are cool.
Yeah, but the only ones we used were Jafar and whatever the one was that let you repeat your slights twice. I think it was might have been Marluxia. I don't remember.
Also, that was the first game you could play as Riku, and I thought that was revolutionary. Which it was. It was really fun playing as Riku, even if it meant using a couple of stupid cards.
You know, the first time I played Riku was Kingdom Hearts 2, so I felt that was revolutionary as well. I was like, whoa, they're making you play that other guy?
Yeah.
And
Did you play Mickey in 2?
if you died, he would come and save you.
Yeah, no, I'm asking Jason
sometimes.
if he did.
Yeah, I did a
Did
couple
you?
times.
Okay.
It was weird though because it's like it's just kind of random chance when he comes and saves you.
No, there's certain bosses. It's
That
not
he has
random,
a higher
it's
chance of
just-
showing up.
Yeah. No. If I remember, it was certain bosses he definitely does. Like the Heartless in the
Zal-
Beast's Ballroom.
Oh, yeah.
Zaldin, yeah. Like he definitely shows up during those fights if you die.
No.
Oh, the what's his name? Fucking Mulan guy.
Oh, wow.
Mickey pops up for him too.
I've only seen him show up for me. I mean, I didn't die often, but I only saw him show up for me when I died to the Hydra due to a goof and Zaldin.
Yeah, I used to die on purpose to play as Mickey.
I think it was Shenlong. Was his name?
Oh,
no,
no,
not Shenlong.
That's the dragon from Dragon Ball Z.
no,
My
that's
bad.
Shan
that's
Yu, you
Shenron.
mean?
Shan
that
Yu, the
sounds more.
villain in Mulan.
Shan Yu is the
That's what
villain in
we're
Mulan.
talking about.
Oh, okay.
His name is also Shen Long in the translation.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. I mean, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but last I checked, like that was the dealio, son.
Well, technically, no, you do fight him. I take that back. You fight like a wind dragon, and then you fight him.
No, you fight Shan Yu on your first visit.
Oh, and then you come back and fight the wind dragon,
Yes.
which didn't really look like a wind dragon, but okay.
These guys are so annoying. The ones that like you can't hit them in the front. Well, I mean you could, but then they just they do this.
They do that.
bullshit. Woo. Ooh. Pretty underwhelming. But which one do you think had the best story?
I
can't-
still stand at Kingdom Hearts 1.
I can't compare them because I feel like all of them have vital information. Unless you mean the best storytelling, then that's kind of hard.
Okay,
Then
how about this?
storytelling.
No, how about this? What if you had to pick those games as a standalone game, as if the story, you had to get the best story out of that one game?
How would I do that? It's like if you play 2, you're gonna be lost if you didn't play any other ones.
I know, but yeah, maybe that's not fair.
Yeah, like if
But-
you,
But like
then-
you had the knowledge of the previous ones.
but like they're not standalone then.
No, well then I guess like Kingdom Hearts kind of always wins because it's like it sets
Yeah.
up everything.
Yeah, it's like the perfect setup.
Not
but
necessarily.
not
Like
really.
some sequels, I think tell a better story than the original. Like take Dark Knight for example. And it's not a game, but the movie Dark Knight. I thought it was better than the first movie and the third movie.
Well, those are different stories.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, they're different.
And Heath Ledger.
Yeah, but those are like it's like not a reboot. What's the word? It's like I don't know.
No, it was a reboot. It's a reboot from Michael Keaton's.
Oh,
So yeah, it's a reboot from Michael Keaton's. That's why. I mean, like I did like Michael Keaton's Batman and Burton's Batman, but
Yeah.
like, you know, it was nice to get a complete trilogy as opposed to I'm gonna direct the first 2 films, then someone else is gonna direct the next 2 films,
And make it
and
a-
we're gonna have 3 different Batman. Each Batman.
Batman.
We're gonna have 3 different Batmen.
Nah, you know what? I like Batmans.
We're gonna have 3
different
Batmans.
Ow.
Yeah, that sounds better actually. 3 Batmans.
I guess, yeah.
I was going for the funnier approach.
And then
but
what
it
they
actually
had
sounds
they
right.
had Chris, I think his name was Chris O'Donnell for Robin twice. I mean, at least he got to stay consistent in his role.
It's an invincibility fight.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Whoa.
gonna hit you one more time.
Hit me, baby, one more time. Oh
I
god.
mean, he did, but now he's trying to lock you up in a cage.
Well, he's not gonna.
I don't know. I wouldn't be too sure of that. I think he's gonna.
Ooh. Come on. Ow, ow, ow. By the way, yes, you're not going crazy if you don't recognize these because we fight these guys in the other character stories.
What? No, this guy's arena only.
But I'm not talking about this guy. I mean, the first one we fought.
What was the first one?
I forgot his name already.
It was that guy, but
It
chained
was
up.
a different boss.
No, it was him, but he was all chained up.
Oh god.
Aside from the laser unverse, is there any other bosses that are shared?
What laser unversed?
Remember the one where Aqua Terra and Ventus fight him?
Right.
Is there any other
The one that
shared
looks like guard armor, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any other shared bosses?
Yes. Wait.
You'll see.
No. I don't remember.
Guard armor was a first good fight in Kingdom Hearts 1 that you had with your party. I know that you obviously fight, what is it again? The Big Heartless? Darkseid. I know you fight Darkseid twice before that, but I think guard armor was a really good first fight with your party.
Yeah.